Hey everybody, I'm out here today with our Sitka spruce in our front yard. We actually have multiple Sitka spruces in our front yard, and today I want to talk to you about spruce tips. These are very nutritionally dense medicine, high in vitamin C, and were traditionally harvested at this time of the year so that you could have a little boost to your system in case there was any sort of spring detox that was going to take place in your body after a long winter. One of the traditional medicines that was made very commonly with the tips is a spruce tip syrup, and that's what I'm going to be making with my bounty. It's actually an old Swedish remedy, and it's very simple to make. You take these tips and you layer them with sugar in a jar. So a layer of sugar, layer of tips, layer of sugar, layer of tips, and then what happens is you let this infuse, and the water from the tips actually permeates into the sugar. You allow that to sit for 4 weeks, and then you boil it down and you strain it, and then you have a beautiful pine tip syrup that can be used in multiple ways. You can have it as is. You can add it to hot water to make a tea. You could put it onto toast or yogurt, or if you want to be naughty, ice cream. And it's going to give you a really nice nutritional boost, and it's going to taste delicious as well. Because these, I love the smell and the flavor of pine, and if you do, you will love these. These have kind of like a lemony, citrusy flavor and scent to them, and they're super soft and they're bendable, and they're actually the new growth of the tree. So when you see these bright green tips, that will eventually turn into the darker green, more tough needles. So when you're harvesting these, you want to come over here and just grab the branch, and you can just gently pull, and these tips pull out very easily. I waited a little bit to harvest these. Some people harvest them when they're much smaller, like right when they emerge, but I wanted to wait because when they get bigger, then you can harvest less because they're just bigger pieces, so you don't need to harvest as much. So I think I'm going to harvest about 4 cups of these, and I will turn it into my pine syrup. Another thing I wanted to show you is the way that these develop. So when you first see the spruce tip, it'll have this brown, kind of like almost see-through brown covering, and it looks like a bud when it first emerges on the tree. And then eventually this covering starts to pull away from the needles, and at this point I could probably just pull this off. It's almost like a little cap, and then you have the spruce tip right there, and that's your medicine that you can harvest. So you can also make beer out of this. You could do a very traditional spruce beer. You can look up recipes for that. I might also try and do that because I really do love traditional ferments like that. I don't really drink alcohol even, but I do really love making traditional herbal beers to have, because the thing with herbal traditional beers is that they were actually medicine. So shocker, we're not meant to be binge drinking alcohol like like we do when we're maybe younger or even older. I don't know, but in some of my days, yeah, I had my fair share of binge drinking. But once you start to tap into the universe and medicine and how things are actually intended to be used, you realize that we're only supposed to be having little amounts of certain things, and beer is one of them, because you could make a traditional spruce tip beer and it's so nutrient dense and high in vitamin C that it's something that you could actually drink if you felt under the weather, but you would only drink maybe a small glass of it, not a keg of it. So anyway, I wanted to share this beautiful medicine with you because every day I wake up and I look out at this abundance in our front yard of these spruce tips, and I am just so excited to make medicine with them. So I hope you learned a little bit about these beauties, and I hope you find your local spruce in your area. Research it well, know what you're harvesting, make sure you identify it, because there is an evergreen called the yew tree, and it's actually poisonous, and so you don't want to be harvesting those tips. So make sure you just identify it correctly, get out there and harvest it responsibly. Don't just take what you need, that's all. And yeah, the spruce will bring you great medicine. So take care out there. Oh, and apparel by Tippy Canoe Herbs. Just wanted to give a little shout out to my hometown of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in Bayview. These folks, they are a beautiful couple who run a beautiful herb shop, if you are ever in Milwaukee, if you plan to visit Milwaukee, go to Bayview and check out Tippecanoe Herbs. I go to their shop each time I go home. My mom and I always make a trip there because it's so special and they're just such great people. And I really love the medicine they make, and I love the level they're on. They're very just wise, intelligent, and open-minded people, and I really appreciate that. We need more people like that sharing their knowledge, especially when it comes to the plant world. So take care out there and get out there and make your medicine, and yeah, make your medicine.